Hello, everyone. We are back. It is the Canadian Bowler Show. I am Michael Patulli, being joined by my fabulous co-host Daryl Fitzgerald. How are you doing, Daryl?
Pretty good. Trying not to melt here in Ontario, but otherwise, all good.
Yeah, it's funny when you think about the weather because Saskatchewan, we've been wet and cold here for a good week. I think I complained to you off the camera there for a while about my bowling at our provincial championships last weekend. It was terribly wet and terribly cold. So uh, polar opposites, but I guess that's Canada for you when we have such a big country like Canada.
Exactly. Yeah, we had storms here right through the weekend. We had some provincial stuff going on as well, but yeah, the heat did not break. It was just hot, hot, hot.
Well, that is the summer, and obviously we are bowlers, so I guess we
Yeah.
sign up for that. It's part of our life. We get used to it. So, thank you for joining us. We have quite a bit to cover here. We are in bowling season, so we have quite a bit of provincial results and lots of other news and just news from across the world. Actually, there's lots of bowls news all across the world. So let's get right into it. Since we are here, I'll remind you to hit the like, comment, subscribe buttons. We love any interactions we can get. It does really help us drive this channel forward. So if you do hit those buttons, it helps us out immensely. If you're not able to check the show out live, we are all on major podcasting platforms within the week. We are also on YouTube same day, so you can check us out after the fact if we're not getting us live, obviously. We do have a few sponsors, just to mention right off the top. Bullsincanada.com, the Henselite supplier for North America. If you're needing any sort of Bulls products, they have a great selection of Bulls products. Daryl's probably looking for his Bulls bag that he recently bought. Doesn't look like he has it.
I forgot to bring it.
Too bad. So yeah, they have some Bulls bags. The very good selection of Bulls bags, colors, and then also in stock Bulls. Very good selection. So we really recommend bullsincanada.com. Terrific sponsor of the show. I know they've recently started to get the limited edition colors that they're getting out of Australia. So can definitely keep your eye on their site if you'd like some of those limited edition colors that you see Henselite come out with. So,
Some
all right.
really cool colors too. Uh, and the split. Uh, I don't know,
Yes.
what do they call it? The Quattro or something like that? I don't know. There's four, right?
Yeah, quadrant or quattro. Yeah, I think I messaged Jim over there and I said once that bowl becomes available or a bowl of that style becomes available, I will be the first person in line. I've already told him. So very
Looks cool.
excited about a lot of those colors that Henslite's been doing. So yeah, if I guess we can get into it. We're getting closer and closer to the Canadian Bowler Open. We are very excited to be bringing that back this year. We're what, I guess 2 months away now,
Yeah.
July, August. Yeah, we're just over 2 months away. So very excited to bring that back. The tournament is still full. We've had a few names drop off our singles waiting list in recent weeks. So if you are on our waiting list, definitely keep your eyes on either your emails or just the waiting list in general, because I do expect with provincials going on, we're probably going to see more and more people jump in and off of those lists. So definitely keep your eye out. Keep us in your summer plans because it would be very awesome to have really anyone who wants to come out there or get their way into the event. We would love to have you out there in Calgary. Um, we do have, I guess, some news or stuff we can sort of let everyone know about. I don't know. What do you want to lead there with, Daryl?
How about the new shirts
Oh, yes.
that we have? So really exciting. We did have a design last year which went over really, really well. It was like a sunrise over the Calgary skyline kind of thing. It was a red and an orange look. I love the shirts. We use them in our provincial teams when we play because they're just really nice shirts as well. But we went in a slightly different direction, and here they are. The Canadian Bowler Open shirts says Canadian Bowler Open on the back, has our logo on the front, and then it's like it's kind of a dark purple with kind of a mountain scene, kind of giving the Calgary vibe off for it. Um, any thoughts on that, Mike?
No, I know we put a lot of thought into this one. We wanted to do something kind of distinctly different, and I think we kind of went what you as you said, sunrise, almost a sunset
Yeah.
or some sort of a vibe like that. But yeah, we're very excited to bring this one uh, to everybody. We do have a sponsor for the shirts this year as well. So we have Mock Energy Services. They are the shirt sponsors. On the arm of each shirt, you'll see their logo. We're very excited to have Mock Energy sponsor us there. So thank you very much for the support of the shirts and the tournament in general. So we're very excited to be working with them. With the shirts, if you are interested in ordering your own, I believe they're going to be coming in any day now. So if you do want to order one, you could pre-order them at this point. Just you can message our email. Is it the Canadian Lawn Bowler at gmail.com?
Yep. Canadian Lawn Bowler at gmail.com. We will be trying to post some images of the shirt up on our website. We'll have like a kind of a merch section for the Canadian Bowler Open, and we'll try to put up a sizing chart as well so that you can see kind of where you fit in the sizing so that you can order appropriately.
Yes. No, definitely if you're interested, send an email there. We do have stock all the way from, I believe, small to 3XL.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in a shirt, you want to get it ordered, and we could ship it anywhere across Canada. So if you're interested, you want the shirt even before the Canadian Bowler Open, or maybe you're not attending, you just want your shirt, send us a message and we'd be more than happy to send those off to you. I guess pricing wise, they would be the same price as last year. So $45 a shirt. So if you are interested, we will have more info on our social media exactly when they do arrive. I think Daryl said they were shipped from just the other day, so probably have them in a couple of days here. Yeah. So beyond that, we also, I guess with the tournament, a couple extra reminders we want to do. So we did send out a survey, essentially a pre-survey or a survey from players to try and get some information to help us with streaming and sort of the brochure that we're going to be giving out before the tournament. So if you are attending the tournament and you haven't completed our survey that we did send out, please do try and get that completed as soon as possible. It will help us sort of with our streaming things. And then also, as I said, that brochure that we're going to be handing out, we want to kind of have player profiles if possible for everyone. So please do give us complete that survey if you can, just an extra little nudge in that direction.
Yeah. Accommodations. For those of you coming down, we just want to do another reminder that the deadline is going to be coming up fairly quick on trying to lock down the Deerfoot Inn and Casino accommodation rate. They're a proud sponsor of the Canadian Bowler Open. Again, our dates are August 27th to September 1st. It's $155 a night with the hot breakfast in the morning. You're gonna be hard pressed to find a deal like that. And I mean, at the end of the day, you get to hang out with us. I mean, what's better than that?
Yes, and I can't really harp on the amenities of the place either. Before we even sort of got into them like sponsoring us, and I kind of looked at the amenities of different places. They were one of them that stood out to me, just sort of the water park, everything they offer. So if you do have a family, obviously the water park is a big attraction. The fact that there's multiple restaurants on site, and then even if you kind of look in the immediate area around it, there's lots of restaurants there as well. So highly recommend booking with them if you are looking for accommodations. Please do. They're a big sponsor of the event. The more rooms we get for the event, the higher their sponsorship is going to be for us. So we really do recommend if you are looking for any accommodations, please book in there because it's going to help us increase the prize pot of this tournament and just make it bigger and bigger year after year. So
link is in the description below. So if you need it, as well as the booking code, you can also check out our website. We have an accommodation page with all the information there as well. So
okay. For the Canadian Bowler, was there anything else that I'm missing before we jump into the next kind of big part there, Daryl? Just,
No.
I know we had a list of things, but okay. So yeah, the next sort of big one is last show we did talk about a new big sponsor we have for the event, which is Harrison Healthcare. So we're very excited to be partnering with Harrison Healthcare. During the show here, part of our lead up to the event is we're going to be having some interviews with the professionals that Harrison has. So we figured it would be a good way to sort of display the services that they can offer and the different things that they have with Harrison. So we have some interviews. We're gonna have an interview here today with their dietitian, one of the dietitians at Harrison, and it's pretty informative, honestly. It gets you a lot of info about bowls and sort of maybe how you can change your diet around bowls. I learned a lot during the interview, and I hope you guys will as well. Sort of a lead into it. Harrison Healthcare delivers highly personalized services focused and compassionate care for optimal health outcomes. They have a multidisciplinary team, employs advanced approaches to disease prevention and management using modern scientifically validated methods. Their comprehensive health services educates, guides, and advocates for clients' immediate and long-term healthcare needs, ensuring the highest standards of healthcare. So we're very excited to partner with Harrison Healthcare, one of the primary sponsors for the Canadian Bowler Open. And I guess with that, Daryl, you can let the interview rip.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Canadian Bowler Show. Today we are joined by Andrea Clarke. Welcome to the show, Andrea.
Thank you for having me.
Just give us a brief intro to who you are and sort of what your relation is to Harrison Healthcare.
Yeah, my name's Andrea Clarke. I'm a registered dietitian with Harrison. I've been with Harrison for the past 2 years and been practicing as a registered dietitian for the past decade in Calgary, Alberta.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Very excited to have you. Obviously, with dietitian, it's a big topic we have in lawn bowling, how to sort of keep yourself properly hydrated and the nutrition part of the sport. So very long days when we bowl. So we wanted to sort of know what would be some good foods that we could eat to maybe give us the optimal energy when we're bowling.
Yeah, great question. So with those long days outside bowling, you definitely want to prioritize eating every few hours. So starting your day with a good breakfast and then fueling up every few hours throughout the day as you're bowling. Those foods you want to really prioritize complex carbohydrates with protein and some fats in there. So things like whole grains, fruits, lean proteins like chicken, eggs, yogurt, healthy fats like avocado, nuts. All of those will be really great foods to choose while you're out bowling.
So I have to admit, I'm probably the worst person for breakfast. It's usually a cup of coffee and I'm on my way. I do notice that my energy drags early on in the day. What would be kind of your optimal breakfast to kick off a competition day?
Yeah, coffee is not breakfast. I would suggest adding in carbohydrates if you're to prioritize anything, but ideally some carbohydrates with protein. So a few examples would be a few pieces of whole grain toast with peanut butter and sliced banana on there. That's a classic, quick, easy, especially if your appetite isn't super strong. Something else, oatmeal with fruit and some Greek yogurt. So you'd be hitting those complex carbs, some protein with the Greek yogurt, and then some nice antioxidants, hydrating fruits with that. If you do wake up with a little bit more of an appetite, some eggs and toast could be a great option as well, just to really have a little bit more of a heartier breakfast. I do find for my clients who don't have a really strong appetite for breakfast, something to drink can be a great option. So something like a smoothie where you can pack in a lot of nutrition and you can blend it, and then on your way to the lawn bowling competition, you can drink your smoothie and have all that great nutrition to keep you energized and fueled throughout the day.
I have to say, bananas and peanut butter are probably my favorite. So that would definitely be something I'd go for. I've never actually thought about doing a smoothie on my way to the greens, so that's perfect. How about after the competition, when you've gone 3 games, long day in the sun? What would be a good meal to have for dinner just to recover?
Great question. Yeah, so definitely important, especially if you're playing again the next day. If you're not, enjoy whatever it is you're out to enjoy, but a balanced meal with, a nice piece of protein. So that could be fish, chicken, tofu, with some carbohydrates, potato, rice, pasta, and a hearty serving of veg with that. So just a really nice balanced meal. It doesn't have to be anything special in particular. If you are playing the next day, I would, keep it balanced, keep it light, try to avoid the really greasy, high fat, deep fried foods, just so that you can prioritize your performance the next day.
I think you know exactly what I eat, so I'm definitely gonna have to change my diet.
So you sort of lead into that. Are there certain foods that you'd say that you should avoid, either if you're bowling the next day or during competition?
Yeah, great question. So you want to avoid foods that are deep fried or like lots of cheese or, French fries, fast food. Those types of things aren't going to fuel you the way you want to be fueled during the day. Also, foods that are really high in fiber can just cause some cramping in the gastrointestinal area. So you don't want to be thinking about your digestion while you're playing. So like beans, maybe not the best choice. Really high fiber cereals, you could skip on those. Also things like spicy foods or anything really new or exotic to you, I would suggest skipping. So when you are in a competition, you really want to keep foods familiar, so that your body knows that, okay, we know this food, right? It's something that you can predictably rely on for your fuel.
Awesome.
Moving on to hydration. It's a huge topic in lawn bowls, specifically because we do have an older demographic, and when you're out in the hot sun, constantly reminding people to drink and drink and drink. How much is enough, and is there such a thing as too much?
Yeah, great question. So hydration needs can be quite individual, but what I would suggest is if you can start your day with at least 2 cups of water is a great starting point. After a long night's sleep, you have been dehydrating. And so dehydration can lead to lack of focus and lack of performance during your competition. So hydration is key, especially first thing in the morning before you start playing. And then throughout the day, you really want to be sipping on water every chance that you get. And, the 8 cups or 2 liters is actually a myth for amount of water you need per day. And yet I still think it's a great goal to hit, just so that you are staying hydrated. A great way to monitor your hydration is the color of your urine. So, if it's dark, you've gone too far, and you need more hydration. So yeah, lots of water, aiming for that 2 liter. And then if it's hot, if you are a heavy sweater, even more water.
So I guess sort of in this conversation here, supplements are obviously a popular topic. So what would be sort of your guidance around supplements, either via electrolyte drinks or things like that?
Yeah. Supplements are definitely a trendy topic. Electrolyte supplements can be helpful, particularly on hot days, right? In September, it's very, very likely in Calgary, it might be a scorcher. So electrolytes are great to replace sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. And so there's a few different brands. There's lots of different brands out there, but Noon tablets are a nice, easy one to pop into your water bottle. Liquid IV, you can even make it yourself. by just adding some sea salt and a little splash of OJ and a squeeze of lemon or lime, and away you go, just to give something to your water, because it is important that you are rehydrating and replenishing those electrolytes, again, if it's hot or if you are a heavy sweater. Caffeine is also considered a supplement, maybe our favorite supplement out there. And there's actually really good research to suggest that caffeine can act as a sport performance aid. So particularly 100 to 200 milligrams, which is about a cup of coffee, can help to improve focus and alertness. And, you know, when you're playing, you got to be on, right? This is the national lawn bowlers competition. So that could be, coffee, tea, matcha. It could be in a tablet form. But when it comes to caffeine, I would say it's important to know your limits with caffeine, because too much can also cause anxiety, jitters, not things that we want to be experiencing. So don't experiment on day of the competition with caffeine. Also some research around beetroot juice, particularly for more endurance sports. Wouldn't hurt, but definitely depends if you want to try it. It's an acquired taste, I'll say. So if you can find beetroot juice, can help to support blood flow and stamina.
That's interesting. I've definitely never heard of beetroot juice. So, I mean, I'll have to admit I haven't looked for it either. So it's probably something that I'll have to take a look for the next time I'm in the grocery store.
Yeah, sometimes it's cut with like apple juice or orange juice. So again, something to try ahead of time, not on day of competition.
Definitely. Talking about some of these supplements, when you go into like a convenience store or a gas station, even grocery stores, usually the things that are on the front shelf and in your face are those kind of high energy, often high sugar drinks, you know, like Monster Energy and Red Bull and those kind of things. And obviously that's sometimes the go-to for a lot of people. What are the dangers in doing or drinking too much of that and trying to compete?
Yeah. Those Red Bulls, those 5-hour energy drinks are definitely tempting to give you that boost. And I would suggest, you know, when it comes to fueling, to really make sure that caffeine is, again, not replacing our nutrition. You know, caffeine can support performance, but it can't replace carbohydrates, proteins, and really the energy we need from food. So while caffeine can be a performance enhancer, we again just want to be mindful about the amount of caffeine in those products. And so if you are used to drinking 3 cups of coffee a day and you replace it with a Red Bull, then that might be the equivalent caffeine that you're used to, and that could be fine. The risks or the harms with taking the Red Bull or the 5-hour energy is that you overdose on caffeine, and that, again, increased heart rate, anxiety, the jitters are not going to feel good on performance day. Some of these products also have those high amounts of sugars, as you mentioned. There are some that are sugar-free, but some with sugars. And sugar can cause us to have a short-term energy spike and then resulting in an energy crash. And so we want to keep that energy sustained throughout the day so that you're not riding a roller coaster of highs and lows throughout your games.
So you talk about, I guess, sustaining the energy through the day. Obviously, a good thing for a lot of bowlers would be maybe have some ideas for some snacks or things that they could maybe bring along to have in their bag or to quickly get into maybe between games. So do you have any ideas for specific little snacks they could bring along?
Yeah, yeah, I love snacks. Yeah, so a piece of fruit is probably one of the best snacks you can pack along. Things like apples, bananas, oranges, they're nature's candy, naturally portable. Pair that with a handful of nuts or a trail mix, and you have this really beautiful combo of fruit and fiber and fats and proteins in a small little portable package. Bars can also be handy just because they're packaged. You can throw them in your bag and away you go. If you don't eat it, you can eat it the next day. Some of my favorites are RX bars. They are date based, so they have some of those sugars, but they're the carbohydrate that you're wanting. They also have egg whites in there, so some protein just to keep you full. You don't taste the egg whites at all, and a little bit of nut in there. If you haven't tried them, they're a great energy protein bar. Lara bars can also be a good option, or just some lower sugar granola bars are also nice to pack along. You can make homemade energy balls with dates and nuts if you're feeling ambitious. Rice cakes with some peanut butter. You could do some pretzels for replacing some of the sodium you might lose with like a hummus or a peanut butter and some fruit. So yeah, does that give you some ideas?
It does.
Yeah.
They actually sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. So I think that's all the questions we had there. Is there anything else you wanted to ask, Daryl?
No, these are great suggestions, and I know that those that are watching that watch our channel are gonna love these suggestions, and hopefully we all pick up a little bit of something to help us with our competitions in the future. So that's perfect.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us, Andrea. Andrea is with Harrison Healthcare, one of the primary sponsors for the Canadian Bowler Open. We thank you very much for joining us, and we thank you for your support of Canadian Bowler Open. Thank you.
All right. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that there. That was, of course, our interview with Andrea Clarke from Harrison Healthcare. So if you are curious about Harrison Healthcare and their products, definitely do check out their website. They're a terrific sponsor of the Canadian Bowler Open, so we're very happy to be working with them. And you can look forward to more interviews similar to that one. We do have some other ones planned coming up to sort of get you to know the different staff that they do have with Harrison Healthcare and the services that they can provide you.
Some really good suggestions. I've noticed with changing my diet and moving some stuff around during the day, energy goes up and down. If you can take some of those suggestions and you use them in competition day, it can actually really pay off from game 1 to game 3.
Yeah, like me personally, just the things I learned from that interview, sort of thinking about my diet when I'm playing, I 100% put it into I implemented it the last couple weekends as I've been bowling. So it's interesting to sort of implement the parts and think about what you're actually putting into your body, because as you said, late day energy is always, I think, a problem, especially if you're on that game 3, maybe even game 4. So yeah, terrific info, and I'm definitely going to implement a lot of the tips she gave us. Okay, so now that we've got through that sort of initial part, we have a lot of provincial results, I guess, we can go over. Just because Daryl provides us with some fantastic notes, we're going to start out west and we're going to work our way east.
Perfect.
Is the way that it's currently set up. So BC played their provincial 4s playdowns. I believe it was last weekend. The winners, is this the winners, Daryl?
Yep.
Wonderful. So the winners were Shane or Annie Matthew. Oh, do you have this?
Sorry, I put it in the way that they had put them down. So bronze, silver, and then gold. Yeah.
Okay, my bad then. We'll start bronze. So the bronze winners were Gail Waddle, Serena Mack, Zoe Chan, and Gigi Chan. Silver was Linda Robbins, Patricia Levy, Vivian Chan, and Fanny Young. And gold went to Annie Maffey, Sherry McGowan, Jill Foster, and Wendy Lehman. So congratulations to them. I think BC's sending their gold medalists to nationals, so we'll be seeing them there. The winners for the men, the bronze medalists were Jay Huang, Barry Ming, Mike Lee, and Jeremy Zhao. Silver was Stephen Young, Paul Lee, Kelvin Lai, and George Mann. And the gold medalists were Shane McRae, Nick May, Eric Ewan, and Dan Bitterlick. Sorry if I butchered that one, but congratulations there. I guess 4 guys there for that fours team. I don't know if I've ever seen any of those guys at nationals before for BC, so a new team getting out of there is always very cool to see. So congratulations to both the men and the women there. Very excited to see BC back and also have them having their provincials again.
Yeah, it's exciting. BC had a ton of entries into their provincial stuff, so it's good to see a lot of action in BC, and obviously they always have quality players coming out of there, so it's good to see them back at Canadians.
Yeah. So I guess we can move forward to the next province over. Our friends in Alberta, they have ran 2 different provincials. So here is the pictures from their pairs, which just occurred the most recent weekend.
Just wanted to point out there's a nice looking shirt right out front. So
yeah, Canadian bowler shirts always making an appearance. So yeah, very excited to see those in there. I guess I'll maybe let you do these results, Daryl. How about that?
Sure. Pairs for the women. First place, June G and Shannon Roden. Second place, Bev and Jan Robinson. And third place, Claire Day and Donna Rawson. For the men, first place, Greg Wilson and Rob Law. Second place, Roy Riggy and Pat Bird. And in third place, Jesse Wilkinson and Chris Lamishka. And they also had their singles run. So in the singles, you see Pat Bird making his gold run again in the singles. Silver, Justin Dusablon. And bronze, Nathan Finley. On the women's side, gold, Jan Robinson. Silver, Joanna Cooper. And bronze, June G. So, looks like a good showing so far from Alberta. Obviously some names we know really well and we've seen at the Canadians before. Pat Bird's always in the mix. Interesting to finally see Greg Wilson and Rob Law play. I know over the years I've heard them say like, hey, we'd like to play together. We're in Alberta. They're obviously both part of the national team. And it just has not worked out for them since they've both been in Alberta, but they finally got to play together and proved that they're pretty good.
Yeah, lots of names are familiar names that we're seeing there on the list. Obviously, a lot of players from Canadian Bowler Open with the singles there. I think almost, if I look at that, I think that entire group is either in the Canadian Bowler Open or what wasn't it last year. So very nice to see the familiar names. And the one question I'd have, I guess, is if there's Alberta people in the chat, I'm not sure how their composition of their teams are working for nationals. I know every province seems to be doing it differently. I think I'd heard BC is literally sending the winners of every single individual event. I don't know if Alberta is doing the same thing they did last year, where it's their top 2 pairs teams and their singles winner, or how it's going to work. So if someone could enlighten us, that would be helpful. I'm not sure if they're also running the full gambit and the winners just go as well, but regardless, we'll pass results along if we do see them. So always trying to clarify and help the people out. So
Yeah.
So we can move on to my wonderful province.
The Big Green. All right.
Yeah, the big green. So the winner of the lady singles 2 weekends ago was Heather Hanoski. Second place was Jordan Koss. And third place was Bev Coots. The winners of the men's fours was Carter Watson. I guess if I'm going to do them in the order that they're in the photo, it's Carter Watson, Kevin Molawaka, Pat Schlatter, and Brandon Watson. Second place is my sad team. So Al Scott, John Patulli, Michael Patulli, and Michael O'Connor. We don't have the third place team pictured, but that was a team made up of Dan Morin, Paul Brennan, Cam McClelland, and Brian Kitts. Moving on to the next weekend, it was just the one that just passed. So I already talked about it. You can see sort of as the two ladies standing here. It was terribly cold and wet all weekend long. So third place in the women's fours. In the picture, we have Lois Koss and Janet Watson. They also were joined by Jean Roney and Karen Schlatter. So they won third place. That is the gold medalists. So that is Eileen McClelland, Heather Howard, Rachel Larson, and Harriet Patulli.
I really put these in order, by the way.
Good job. Second place, you're lucky I'm from here because I'm able to do this just on the fly. So second place was Sylvia Marcia, Jordan Koss, Anita Navala, and Janice Robson. And the winner of the singles was, this guy. So that was me. I won the singles, men's singles. Second place was Daryl Hanoski. And third place was Jordan Gailey. So congratulations to all those bowlers from Saskatchewan. Very excited that I was able to win the singles myself and get a spot at nationals there. It's kind of rare when you do something you've never done before, and I can say I've never won the singles in Saskatchewan before, so it was a kind of a cool thing to experience. Very excited to play my non-first juniors or U25 singles nationals in my career, so it'll be very exciting for me to go there in Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not surprised to see the mix of gold and silver. It's usually you flip gold and silver around and you see some of those names come out of Saskatchewan. The Patullis will be well represented in the Canadian, so that's cool to see. Just checking the chat here, Laurie Stainer and Greg Wilson just saying that Alberta will be sending the winners of each discipline, so that's pretty cool to see. Congratulations, Greg, in the chat on your pairs win, and good luck in anything else that you'll be entering as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to sort of pass those results along now. That's good to know that we get to follow along and potentially see all of those faces at nationals there. So I guess if we're scrolling along in the provinces, I don't know if this is going to throw a loop for you, Daryl. Manitoba has ran a provincial.
Yeah.
Do you have that picture?
I don't have the picture because it was just the
screenshot. Yeah, okay. So Manitoba, their website didn't really have a picture, but they ran their event last weekend, and it looks like due to the forest or the wildfire smoke, they weren't able to complete the men's singles. It sounds like it's going to be completed on Friday this week. So we'll obviously, I think, have some double results from Manitoba when it comes to the men. They were, however, to get the ladies' triples completed. So the winners of the women's triples was Betty Van Wallingham, Jillian McMurchie, and Cheryl Shedrick. So combination, I think that team probably, I think they might have been at nationals last year, or a combination of them.
I believe so.
Very familiar names. So congratulations to them, and we'll be seeing them in Edmonton.
Cool.
You can handle your province, Daryl.
All right, we'll talk about Ontario. Ontario has had a couple provincials so far. This is a picture of the triples, kind of in the far back, you can see the gold medal winners of the triples, Cody Olthoff, Jake Masterson, and Mike McNorton. Silver off to the left. Off to the right, Rick Wood, Lyle Mix, and David Johnson. And then bronze off to the left, Rick Lyons, David Llewellyn, and Ryan Blair. Just have a couple pictures from the women's triples. I wasn't able to find all three. This is the silver medalists, Leanne Franklin, Kathy Larking, and Carol Buchanan. And the winners, Andrea Hampton, Mary Lynn Wykant, and Rachel Jones. And we have the men's fours, which just took place this past weekend. Gold medal winners, Dave Defoe, Desmond Tibby, Hang Lee, and Ricky Lau. We have Derek Mackay, Peter Mutter, Murray Benowise, and Everett Zwires. And then bronze went to Bill McCollum, Chad Berge, Peter Stewart Shepherd, and Riz Warren. In the women's fours, we had the winners Pat Kaufman, Jill Calvert-Getz, Katrina Carter, and Sandy Weatherall. Silver went to Cindy Higgins, Betty Robitaille, Carol McDonald, and Laurie McLeod. And then bronze went to Kay Johns, Kathy Larking, Tracy Warren, and Lynn Frost. Some really good competition. I can say the fours weekend was a little bit wild. We had some really wicked weather come through, but the good old Ontario humidity just kept that temperature way up there. So you were sweating whenever you were outside. It was a pretty hot weekend. Some cool results. If I'm gonna say it myself, Cody with a K, Olthoff, making it through on his first Canadians. Some people didn't believe that, but it's true. He's a quality player. He just hadn't been able to get over that hump, and he finally did in the triple. So he's going to his first Canadians. And then we see some really cool results in the women's fours. For those that have been to the CBO, we do have a multi-generational family that comes out. Pat Kaufman, Katrina Carter, and their son Caden. Caden was actually playing in the fours, but his mom and his grandma, Pat Kaufman and Katrina Carter, won the women's fours, so they'll be going to the Canadians. So that's pretty cool as well. Great weekends of competition and some cool results. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, like you kind of highlighted there, it's very nice to see some familiar names, and specifically there with the fours, Katrina getting through with her mom is always a cool experience to get there with your family, and then obviously they're playing in the Canadian Bowler Open right after, so they get to experience that awkward week in between that I have. So maybe they've got a long-term vacation scheduled or something like that. Maybe Greg Wilson will take them into the bush for some pictures or something. What was it? The sightseeing and the different pictures that he's always posting. So maybe Greg will have to give them that option. But yeah, they're similar to me, where we got that awkward kind of 3-4 days after the Nationals, but they'll be excited to go, I know. Men's wise, as you said, Cody, kind of nice, obviously, for him to get his first trip there. And then specifically, if we're talking about it, like John Simon in the chat, Heng Lee has qualified out of BC before and then is now qualified of Ontario. So kind of adds to that esteemed list of players that have made it out of multiple provinces. Well, I guess we could say Rob Law. There we go. There's another one, John Simon. There we go. Another name. But yeah, but there we go. That's very cool though. I'm excited to see that's an interesting combo of a team. So I'm actually excited to see how they'll fare. Sort of with the change to Ontario having the one squad. Obviously going to be a pretty tough province to get out of in the future here, but always good to see the results.
Another note, some may not know him, but those that have been to WOBA before and may have been at the last CBO, Desmond Tibby making his first appearance at the Canadians. He's a WOBA winner. He won the fours, I think 2 years ago, I want to say, with the Gallipo team. So cool to see some new names. Even in the other provinces, seeing some new names go through is really quite neat.
Yes. So I guess we can move on from Canadian results. If you have Canadian results you want to pass our way, please do. One of the biggest complaints Daryl and I have every year is some of the websites are very hard to find results on. Quebec's lawn bowling website, I kind of gathered that Ryan Craig had won their singles. They've had their singles, but it doesn't really officially have the results because it's still listed as last year's results. So forgive us. We'd love to pass along results as they come along. So please send them to us if you know of them. We would love to tell everyone about them. If you have pictures, even better. We'd love to show them. That's Quebec. I know a lot of the other provinces are getting into theirs in the coming weeks. So probably our next show, we're going to have a lot more results to pass your way.
Yeah, John Siteman in the chat. I was hoping that Rob may break out those Manitoba yellow shirts so that he and Greg could wear them in the pairs trying to qualify, but they probably wouldn't have been able to get their arms down with whatever like thick cotton that they used to be.
Yeah. Look at that. So if we move on to the results, well, he's in the chat. He was there. John Siteman was at the Australian Open.
He was.
I think he just returned literally 3 days ago, if my memory serves me right. So the Australian Open occurred, would have been over about the last 2 weeks, just ending roughly a week ago now. The winner of the men's singles was, for a record, 7 all-time, 4 in a row, Aaron Sheriff.
That's insane.
That is ridiculous. Yep. So congratulations to Aaron Sheriff. He beat Nathan Wilson in the final. It was a pretty good game. Watched him about the last 10 points of that one, specifically his last end where he just auto draws in a 4th shot or whatever it was for the win. It's crazy how automatic he is. I digress. Winner of the women's singles was Dawn Heyman. Congratulations to her. Silver went to Olivia Cartwright. You can jump in here, Daryl.
Yeah, men's pairs went to Corey Wedlock and Gary Kelly. They beat Jacob and Kane Nelson. Women's pairs went to Selena Goddard and Chloe Stewart. They beat I believe it was the Malaysian team of Nurul Alina Jamil and Emma Firiana Saruji. Men's fours, we have the winners Thor Shannon, Adam Wallace, Ollie Morrison, and Jake Rennie in gold. And then they beat the team of Ali Forsyth, Aaron Wilson, Sean Ingham, and Wayne Turley. And in the women's fours, Lindsay Clark, Ann Johns, Rebecca Van Ash, and Kelsey Cottrell gold, beating Chloe Stewart, Rebecca Lord, Laura Butler, and Olivia Cartwright. We kept it short. There's a ton of disciplines, a ton of people, a ton of results from the Australian Open. Definitely go over and check them all out. They have a pretty good system. I think it's Bowls Link, where you can actually go through all the rounds and see who went where, and you can even go and check up on John Siteman in the pool he was in and see who he was playing. It's pretty crazy to think of some of the actual legendary players that play. John talking in chat that the wild stat is that he's gone 45-0 to win the past 4 singles and hasn't lost since 2021. I can't even remember a month that I didn't go without losing, so that's pretty impressive.
As you say, I can tell you I lost on Friday,
Yeah.
Friday evening. That's got about an 8-game streak. I just got to win 30, 38 in a row now to catch up to him or whatever. So that's absolutely insane. Just shows the quality of the player he is, and not shocked whatsoever that he keeps finding his way in there. Talking about other Canadians, like there were some notable finishes, like I believe Emma Boyd got to the quarterfinals, I believe, in the pairs, and then I think Kelly and Leanne Chinnery were in the semifinals, if my memory serves me right. So fairly good year for the Canadians as well. And as Daryl said, you can check out that website. All the links you want to see how people did sectional play, knockout rounds, everything. It's all there. So very good website to follow if you want to check out anyone's result.
And there's plenty of good matches on YouTube. I know I caught it live, but on their YouTube there is the semifinal match with Kelly and Leanne. So if you get a chance, go and check that out for that.
Okay. Other information or new information that came out was the Champion of Champions field was released. I think it was yesterday, if I'm remembering correctly. So do you have the graphic, Daryl? There it is, maybe.
Yeah, it's a PDF that I pulled in, so forgive the quality, but this is what World Bowls has posted. There's a ton of players, as you can see, but going down the list, most notably from Australia, Chloe Stewart. She did extremely well in the Australian Open. You just heard her name twice in the results that we had posted. Canada, we've got Kirby Dominant, the Kirbinator Owen Kirby, and Betty Van Wellingham will be representing Canada. Going down the list, there's a couple to be announced yet, so you never know when they'll come in. Rebecca Rickson from Malta. The Rickson family is pretty well known for representing Malta, so not surprised to see one of them there. You have Ian McLean from Scotland. He's well known, Commonwealth medalist. And looking at our fellow North Americans, USA, Charlie Herbert and Julia Gallo, friend of the show, will be on there as well. So a pretty cool list of people playing, and eventually we'll see another country with another Canadian in another year, I guess.
Yeah, I semi-expected Pierre's name to be in there for Switzerland, but I think it's for next year's event. So we'll get to cheer for a non-Canadian in Pierre come next year. But good luck to Owen and Betty when they go to that. I think the dates said September. Is that right, Daryl?
Yes.
So yeah,
no, is it November? What did it say?
Anyways, it's sometime after the summer. So anyone interested in that definitely can check out World Bowl's website. All the info is there, and you can check out the full field if you want to check it out.
Yeah. Just wanted to throw out another I guess plug for the Atlantic Challenge 2025. Because it is in Canada, I think it's really good for us to promote this. It'll be in Windsor for if you're in the area or you're looking for someplace to come and see some international players play on Canadian soil for the first time since the 90s. Definitely think about going down there. It's September 18th to 25th. The Canadian team and some of the teams will probably be in there a few days early to do some training and acclimation to Windsor. But we've got some great players playing, and definitely you want to go check that out. And Windsor always does a great job hosting, so you'll definitely be well taken care of if you go down there.
Yeah, definitely do go check it out. We kind of have I don't know what if we're gonna call it the who's who team of Canada. I feel like Canada is sending out the big guns, if there were a word for it. So very excited to see how that shapes out for us. And Windsor does have, I've been told, terrific greens, so I'm fully expecting a great event when that does happen, September 18th to 25th.
I mean, for what it's worth, if you don't ultimately care about anything that's going on there, seeing Ryan Bester play on Canadian soil for the first time in forever will be a unique experience. At least competing. So I can't say that he hasn't played, but when he's over here, but competing at an international and something that high, this will definitely be the first one in many years. So it's definitely something you want to go check out.
Yes, that probably adds to the reasoning that we're maybe seeing the big guns come out where, as you said, 20, 40, almost 30 plus years. It would be 30 plus years at this point since Canada's hosted a major international event. So lots of these people hasn't occurred in their lifetime. So not surprising to see them coming out for it, because it's probably a pretty big deal for them to be able to play in their home country and represent Canada. So okay. I guess you have a little note here. We were just talking about it. So Ryan Bester Way.
Yeah, it used to. So the street in front of the Hanover Club used to be called Ryan Bester Way. After he won his World Pairs, it was shortly after, I think, that they renamed the street in front of the club Ryan Bester Way because of his great achievement, and his career has really gone up since then, to say the least. But recently, they did kind of a rejig of the name to make it, I would say, more appropriate for Ryan Bester. They now call it Ryan Bester Drive. So just thought I'd throw that out there. If you ever go down to the Hanover Club in Ontario, we were just there for Provincials recently. You'll see 6th Street in Hanover is also Ryan Bester Drive.
Very cool. No, very appropriate for Ryan to have that renamed more appropriately. So I like it. Like it's kind of an interesting when you think about, like, drive is obviously a word we use, and yeah, I love it. That's great. I guess I'm looking at the notes. Is that all we had, Daryl?
I think so.
Feel like a blur, but we have been chatting here for almost an hour, so I'm not terribly surprised. As I said, provincial bowling season is really in the thick of it right now in Canada. So please do. There we go. We got a Quebec person in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the Quebec women's singles winner was Pat Chiara. Oh yes, Pat was at Nationals last year. So congratulations to Pat. Thank you for dropping that in the chat. As I said, we want to give all the results we can, just sort of with our limited Facebook friends and everything with websites. It's hard to sometimes get the results. So yeah, Ryan Craig, thank you. So there we go. Ryan Craig and Pat Chiara were the winners from Quebec. So they've done their singles. Weeks and weeks are going to happen here. We're going to keep getting results. So please send us even emails to canadianlawnbowler@gmail.com. If you have results, pictures, we would be more than happy to put them on the show. We'd love to cover a country or the whole country if we can. And so any of them we can get would be helpful. I guess, what's up, Daryl?
One thing I wanted to plug as well, for those of you who want to take a trip to Ontario, WOBA is still looking for another entry. I believe the total is up to 15 that they have right now, and they're looking for that final team to round out. And also, if you are somebody who's looking for a team and want to put up just kind of your name as a spare, or if teams are looking for that 5th person, in some cases they are, put your name forward, wobaweek.ca, and go check out the website, check out the entries in there, and sign up, because it's awesome. It's an awesome chance to play, a lot of fun, a lot of bowls, and some really good competition. I think it's just a great place to play and a great competition to be part of.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm very excited. I'm going to WOBA this year. Very excited to head back. I love my time at Heritage, although you just seem to win WOBA every time I'm ever there. So you can fall and hurt yourself or something in the days leading up to WOBA, and maybe arrange for someone else to pull it off this go around, Daryl, if that's okay.
I didn't win last time, but the Betker is the one that I'm trying to hold on to right now. So
fair enough. Greg's in the chat. He's saying he's very excited for nationals because it looks like there's going to be no B teams, which the limited field, the 8 entries will make it a more limited field, and he's exactly truthful. I think that it's going to be no B teams, which is kind of cool because you're playing the best of the best, and kind of makes it a much more of a you win to get yourself there type of a thing now. So very excited. So yes, please pass us the results if they happen. We are more than happy to let people know the results of different events as they happen all across Canada. Even if it's not your provincials, let us know. We'll definitely be more than happy to share your event's results on the show as well. So I guess if that's all we got there, just another friendly reminder to hit the like, comment, subscribe buttons. They help us immensely, really do drive the show forward and allow things like the Canadian Bowler Open to get bigger and better year after year. If you keep hitting those buttons, it helps us go forward. We're on all major podcasting platforms, everything like that after the show. So please check us out after the fact if you're not here. Yeah, I guess we can mention our sponsors again. Do you want to, Daryl?
yeah.
Bowlsandcanada.com, the Henselite supplier for North America. Check them out if you do need a new Bulls bag. Daryl has one. He said it's a very good Bulls bag. I need a new one as well, so I'm going to be ordering one as well. Check them out. Are there wonderful sponsors of the event we went over earlier, and do look forward to more of those interviews with Harrison Healthcare. We're very excited to be working with them as one of the primary sponsors for the Canadian Bowler Open. So, all right. I guess if that's all we got there, Daryl, may all your bowls be touchers. Take care.